be dignified when you keep nudging my ribs with that pickle fork?
I'm afraid you're more at home in the tennis racket than a foil, Dad. Let's call it quits for today, shall we?
Not me. I'm going to take another lesson from the fencing master. And when I get home tonight for dinner, I'll duel you for the outside cut of the roast beef. On guard.
Well, you can certainly use some more lessons, but you can't take one now. Aren't you forgetting you've got a luncheon date with Roberta?
Oh, sure, but she'll wait. She always does.
Well, get him. I'd like to see a man who can stand me up and get away with it.
When you grow up, you'll learn that we men operate like the wily trout. He keeps the lady with the fishing rod thinking he's about to swallow the hook. Then he swipes the bait and swims gaily off with a trouty grin.
Just a word of warning from a girl who hasn't grown up yet to an overage Peter Pan. If you don't want to lose Roberta, don't take her for granted.
Run along, child. You fish your way and I'll fish mine. Let Roberta wait for lunch. It'll do things for a figure.
All right, where's those corporation papers Oh, Miss Townsend. Good afternoon. Where's our friend Albright?
That's what I'd like to know. He's exactly 1 hour overdue for our luncheon date. I'm so hungry I was about to nibble on his desk blotter. High calorie, low fat.
Well, Albright's one of my favorite idiots, but surely he couldn't keep such a lovely woman waiting.
Thanks for the vitamin shot, Mr. Honeywell. My ego's a mite undernourished these days. This is the 4th time in 2 weeks that Verne has left his little tomato withering on the vine.
Well, why do you put up with it? Why don't you tell him off and shop around for someone else?
That's simple. I'm a conservative shopper. I don't buy until I find something I like, and then I get quite attached to the merchandise. Any other suggestions?
Maybe I have at that. Why don't you marry him?
Marry Verne? There's not much chance of orange blossoms when I can't even get a mixed green salad out of him.
Bertie, you'll reek with orange blossoms if you'll do what I tell you. All you have to do is make him jealous.
That routine is so old, the corn's too tired to pop. Verne wouldn't... Wait a minute. Why are you so anxious to marry me off to Verne? If I know you, there must be an angle.
There is. My interest is purely selfish. Margie needs a mother, and you're the only woman I know of that can handle her.
So that's it. What's Margie up to now?
Well, nothing for the moment, but I'm buying insurance for the future. What do you say?
What do I say? What does Verne say? It takes 2 to tango, you know, especially to the wedding march.
Look, I'll get an actor to play Verne's rival for your heart and hand. He'll think he's about to lose you, and he snatches you right out of his rival's arms to the altar. How's that?
But if Verne doesn't snatch, do I snitch?
You tell him nothing, and above all, you tell Margie nothing. Swear you won't say a word to her no matter what happens.
Margie's the last one I'd want to know that my admirers were on salary.
I'll arrange everything. I'll hire a romantic Frenchman. If there's anything that rouses us males, it's a Latin lover for a rival. Why, if Albright doesn't fight for you, it's un-American.
I must say the thought of using such unfair tactics has always been offensive to me, but I also think it's a better offensive than Notre Dame's. Should we call the casting office?
Dad, wait a minute. Don't you think you ought to run down to the florist's and get some flowers for Roberta? After all, you did stand her up for lunch today.
Flowers? What do you want me to do, spoil the woman? I told you I believe in keeping my women on their toes.
Oh, yes, I forgot. The wily trout. Well, happy bait swiping.
When I called Roberta to ask her to have dinner with me, she was as meek as a lamb. So you see, child, Papa has everything under control as usual. See you later.
Why, Verne.
Oh, you're all dressed up. You don't usually shoot the works when we dine at our little Italian place.
Dine? Oh, Verne, I'm afraid I've been very naughty. I forgot all about our dinner date.
You forgot me?
The champagne is nice. I have the key to the apartment.
Oh.
Pepe, this is one of my neighbors, Mr. Albright. Verne, Major Vidal.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Pepe just arrived in New York with a French fencing team, and he's planning on staying in America indefinitely. Isn't that wonderful?
After I crossed the ocean to see you, I cannot run away again so soon, eh? Roberta tells me your daughter Margie has interested you in fencing. But you're so wrong, my dear. Mr. Albright is not too old for such a strenuous sport as you said. He seems to be exceedingly well preserved.
Oh, thanks. Maybe she thought I wouldn't keep it until tonight. That's why she broke our date.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Verne, but when Pepe called, I just forgot about our date. You don't mind, do you? We'll make it sometime soon. Oh, well, Pepe, I think we simply must run or we'll be late at your embassy.
Well, what do you hear from the wily trout?
Now listen, Roberta, I think you're treating me pretty shabbily. I've been trying for a solid week to get a date, and you're always tied up with that grinning Frenchman. If he's on the fencing team, why doesn't he spend some time fencing?
Let's not be naive, Verne. After all, Pepe has his evenings free, and I feel flattered that he devotes so much time to plain little old me. Tomorrow night? Oh, I'm sorry. There's a party at the French consul. But we'll get together soon, maybe for lunch one day. Bye.
Oh, that Frenchman. I'd like to use his fencing foil as a spit and barbecue him.
Now, temper. I take it there's no use asking what's new.
Oh, Roberta's going out with that Frenchman again tonight.
All right, why don't you face it? From what you tell me, this man is handsome, dashing, the real lover boy type. You wrap that up in a uniform and bluey, you're just a memory.
Now, wait a minute. I'll admit he's younger than I am, but...
That's enough to butt your head up against right there, old boy. You're no spring chicken anymore. Not with those gray pin feathers sprouting out of that egg up there. You should have grabbed Roberta before the competition got rough.
I'm not afraid of competition. Besides being younger than I am, what has Peppy got that I haven't got?
All right, don't tempt me. But after all, you're my partner and I want to help you. I'll call Roberta and see if I can't get you a date.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Honeywell. You're a pal.
Think nothing of it. You might say I'm just taking a personal interest to see that Cupid takes off on the right runway.
That you, Margie?
Why, Dad, what are you doing home on a Saturday afternoon?
I'm having cocktails with Roberta this afternoon.
Oh, did the Frenchman leave?
He did not. Apparently, Roberta realized what she's been missing lately, so she invited me over for cocktails.
Oh, I see. You're getting out of your wet blanket and into a dry martini. Oh, flowers and candy. Now you're getting smart. So she called you, huh?
Yes, but I'll have to admit that Mr. Honeywell helped a little. You know, sometimes I think that I've underestimated his feeling for me. He called Roberta up himself and told her that she wasn't being fair to me.
Well, whatever did the trick, I'm really glad. You and Roberta sort of belong together.
Well, here's where I bring a little sunshine into her life.
How beautiful. You shouldn't have done it. Come to think of it, you seldom do. And candy. My, we're living it up today. Chocolate bonbons from France. Now sit down and I'll get you a cocktail. What would you like?
Oh, let's have one of those frappe drinks we used to have at that little bar, you know, with a dash of Pernod. That's one import from France that I do approve of.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going to have. How did you guess? Are the cocktails ready, dear?
Coming, my sweet. Tout sweet. Will you pour, Monsieur Albright? It is an American neck I do not have.
I'm so glad you could join us, Verne. Pepe is so anxious to learn all about American businessmen. He'll be looking for a job soon, and I thought perhaps you might be able to help him. Any openings in your firm?
Oh, my darling, the cocktail hour is no time to talk the business affairs. Monsieur is a swordsman. We will discuss the art of fencing, as you call it in America.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was being selfish. But I want Pepe to be so happy here that he'll never want to return to Paris. Well, I'll go and fix some canapes and leave you to your man talk.
Here. Oh, I'm sorry I spilled your drink.
It's all right. Speaking of fencing, it reminds me of the time when I fought my first duel. I was a young cadet, and since here, come, I will show you how I won my scar of honor. On guard. I surveyed my opponent. He was an older man such as you, a man of skill. But I was not afraid of him. My épée like lightning played about his body. One moment, monsieur. This uniform binds the sword arm. Do you mind if I slip into something more comfortable? Excuse me.
Why, that's a man's smoking jacket.
Naturally. Roberta is so thoughtful. She provides everything for me.
My, it's nice to have a man around the house. Oh, Verne, I couldn't remember. Do you like anchovies?
You know perfectly well I hate anchovies, and I'm not hungry anymore, and I'm not thirsty, and goodbye.
Congratulations. That performance of yours belongs on Broadway.
Broadway can wait. Mr. Honeywell pays a pretty good salary, and it looks like the play is good for a run.
I don't know. From the expression on his face when you went into that smoking jacket bit, I don't think his blood pressure can stand much more.
Dad, what's the matter? I thought you had...
So did I, but that Frenchman beat me to it with candy, flowers, and himself.
Peppy was there?
And not only there, but Roberta keeps a smoking jacket in her closet for him. Now, what do you think of that?
No fooling.
Margie, Roberta's lost her head over this guy completely. Why, she even wanted me to get him a job so he could stay in town.
Well, in a way, Dad, you can't blame Roberta. As a woman, I can see her side of it. You stand her up whenever you feel like it. Then along comes a romantic guy like Peppy who gives her the attention she deserves. No wonder she flipped. I'd do the same thing.
If you ask me, this continental lover stuff is the bunk. Pure propaganda. What has he got that's so devastating to women?
Attaboy, Dad, tell him.
He's got nothing but a fancy uniform with a few muscles under it. A mop of curly hair, soulful eyes, a pretty boy face. He's just a kid. Why, take a man like me, I just don't stand a chance against a guy like that.
Now, you stop talking like that.
Oh, we've got to face it. I'm not a chicken anymore. Look at these gray pin feathers. I'm just an empty husker, all a mockery of the man that used to be. Well, Roberta knows me for what I really am.
Oh, cut it out. Dad, sometimes you make me sick. What's the matter with you anyway? Are you a quitter? Are you going to let this pipsqueak Peppy steal your gal without a fight?
A fight?
Yes, fight. The Albrights have always fought for their women, and you're not going to give Roberta up without a struggle if you're a true Albright. I can tell you this, there never was a woman who didn't admire the caveman type. And I don't mean cave in.
You know something? I'd enjoy belting Peppy right in his classic nose, and I think I'll do it. It's my patriotic duty. I'll show them what happens when a foreigner messes around with a red-blooded American. Well, what? Okay, I gave you a chance to talk your way out. Now I'm going to throw you out.
Just a second, monsieur. If you have the score to settle with me, bien. But we shall settle it as we do in my country. My compliments, monsieur. My seconds will call on you. I demand satisfaction for the insult to my honor.
What? You mean a duel?
Certainly, to the death. I shall meet you and your seconds at Central Park tomorrow at dawn. Until then, monsieur, if I die on the field of honor at dawn, the sun will yet rise upon the woman I love unto death.
A duel? Is that guy crazy?
I suppose you'd call it crazy to fight for the woman you love, but Pepe is a man of honor.
Now, look, so am I, but my fists are all I need to fight with.
You can't kill a man with your fists, and Pepe is willing to die for me. What's your bid, a bloody nose?
But,
Please leave. I can't stand the sight of a coward.
All right, if that's the way you want it. I'm a coward, am I? Not willing to die for you, am I? All right, I'll show you, Roberta. I'm going to get my affairs in shape.
Try for the old boy yet.
Central Park at dawn tomorrow. I'll show Roberta the kind of a man she's lost.
But you're a terrible fencer, and he's on the fencing team. He'll skewer you like a shish kebab.
What does it matter? Better death than dishonor.
You can't do it. It's insane.
It's not insane to fight for the woman you love. You said so yourself. If I die at dawn in the field of honor, the sun will yet rise on the woman I loved unto death. You can tell that to Roberta in your own words.
Oh, Roberta, you've got to stop him. He's going to fight a duel, and he's a terrible fencer.
There now, Margie, take it easy. There's not going to be any duel.
But he said...
Exactly what I hoped he'd say. Come on in, Mother Townsend will tell you the facts of life.
Mr. Honeywell, are you in your office, Mr. Honeywell?
Stop screaming, you infernal idiot. Of course I'm here. Somebody's got to work on Saturday.
Oh, Mr. Honeywell, will you please come right in? It's an emergency. I'm going to fight a duel, and I want you to act as my second.
What was that?
I want you to be my second. I'm going to fight a duel, and I also want you to witness my will. Please hurry. Last will and testament. I, Vernon Albright, being of sound mind. Sound mind? What am I talking about? I must be nuts. That guy's liable to kill me.
What are you doing?
I'm leaving town. I'm leaving the country. I may even take a spaceship.
No, you don't.
Oh, Mr. Honeywell, let me go. I resign. Get yourself a new vice president. I'll break him in over long-distance telephone. But please let me go before that crazy Frenchman kills me.
Come back here. Is that what you meant when you said you were fighting a duel?
Yes, even if he doesn't kill me, he'll make a laughingstock out of me in front of Roberta. I can't fence my way out of a paper bag.
Now, wait a minute. Does Roberta know about this duel?
Yes.
That idiot actor. He's gone too far, the big ham. He's defeating my whole purpose.
Actor? Purpose?
All right, I'm going to pay you a compliment you don't deserve and treat you as if you had a brain.
Oh, thanks.
Now, you listen to me. I'll tell you all about it, but first I've got to be sure of one thing. Do you really care for Roberta?
I do.
Do you want to be an important part in her life?
I do.
And do you admit that you're wrong in taking her for granted?
I do.
Then I pronounce you man and wife.
But I haven't married Roberta.
No, but you're going to if I have anything to say about it. All we have to do is revise the plot.
But Mr. Honeywell, I don't get it.
Naturally, you never did. Now, I'll call Peppy on the phone. You get your sword arm ready.
Well, at least it's proved one thing, that Dad really thinks an awful lot of you, even if he does take you for granted sometimes.
Poor dear. He was even willing to fight a duel for me. Let's end the suspense and take him off the hook, shall we?
I'd better check the office and see if he's still there. What am I talking about? If I know Dad, he's probably at that fencing salon right this minute taking a few frantic lessons. Let's go down and give him his reprieve.
Pepper in this. We've got to make this look good.
Oh, he may be an actor, but he can fence better than I can.
That's one of the tools of our trade, Mr. Albright. But don't you worry. Tomorrow in the park, you just whack away and I'll make it look like I'm getting beat. Then for the finish. Well, I'd better show you once more.
What did I tell you? Dad's hot at it. Let's take a look and see how he's doing.
Now, Mr. Albright, when you are ready to kill me, you just give me the high sign. And I will hold my foil still, like Mr. Honeywell is doing. Then, you bind and run me through.
Terrific, Peppy. That ought to make Roberta think that Verne's the greatest swordsman since Errol Flynn.
Why, that old double-crosser.
Roberta, I hope you're not going to let them get away with this.
Got an idea?
We'll have to have a little talk with that sterling actor, Peppy Vito.
And?
We'll pay his price for another slight change in the plot.
I wish Peppy would hurry up. I'm freezing.
Yeah, he ought to get here so we can rehearse it once more. Are you sure Roberta will be here?
Oh, positive. I called her at 5 o'clock this morning to say my last farewell.
Peppy gave you your share of the money we paid him?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Good. Then you know what to do.
Scares the pants off of your papa.
Well, within reason. After all, there are ladies present.
Good luck, and don't hurt him, will you?
No.
Monsieur? Monsieur?
En garde, monsieur.
What the... Who are you?
I am Henri Vidot, brother of Pepe Vidot. En garde, monsieur.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's Peppy?
He is at home beneath the covers like the coward he is. I have taken his place to defend the honor and name of Vidot. En garde, monsieur, before I run you through like a pig.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. This guy means business.
En garde, monsieur.
Hey, be careful with that thing. This is only a gag. You're going to hurt somebody.
Now listen, you, whoever you are. This must be a frame-up. Peppy's an actor, and his real name is not Peppy.
Touché! En garde, monsieur. Touché! Don't do that! En garde, monsieur.
Now stop all this nonsense. I tell you, I know this is a phony.
Aha, both en garde. Ow! Double touché! En garde, monsieur. Hey!
What's going on here?
They'll hear you.
May I ask, who'll hear me?
For heaven's sake, officer, you'll spoil the duel.
Officer!
Duel in Central Park?
Of course. Haven't you ever seen a duel in Central Park?
No, I ain't. And there ain't gonna be one to see. I'm running a audience.
Break it up. You're all under arrest.
Oh, but what for? We weren't doing... Margie! Roberta!
Well, Dad, for once you can't blame me for what happened.
Yeah, it was all Mr. Honeywell's fault for trying to play Cupid.
Anyway, the fencing is out from now on.
You mean I don't have to take any more lessons with that toad stabber?
Too dangerous. But you do need exercise. So I've enrolled you with a man who'll exercise your muscles for you. You're going to take lessons from a professional wrestler.
Well, that's my little Margie.